If you are African Americans and want to move to Africa to get a job, I will tell you, no, do not do that. That will be the greatest mistake that you will ever, no, do not even think about that. Move to Africa to create jobs. In every African country you go, they are having almost 50% unemployment rate among the youths. So which means moving from one place to Africa to go and get a job is not the option. But you can move to Africa to create your own industries. You can move to Africa to create jobs. There are going to be challenges, since there are a lot of corruption in various African countries. Not only that, you will have those particular leaders who always want to have something for themselves. They do not care about the normal citizens. You will see all of these things in Africa. You will have to go through challenges. But because of these challenges, you should not give up on Africa, because the knowledge that you have, young people are going to need you and your knowledge, regardless of which field you are in. Whether you are a former military, for example, if you should go, let's say, like to Burkina Faso, to Mali and Niger, there is a struggle in those countries, and every African youth will support that. So which means they are definitely going to need this military knowledge and the experience that you have. If you are good in tech, there are schools in Africa. Come on, like, people are definitely going to need all of these things. If you are good in business, if you are good in agriculture, look, all these things are some things. So move to Africa with the mindset that you are going to build your own industry and become your own boss and create jobs. Hopefully you guys are going to watch the whole video, and if you do, do not forget to comment below what you think about this video. So these are some of the things that you should know before moving to Africa. Hey, my name is Abi, and there are a lot of African Americans or black people in general who sent me DMs on my TikTok page asking me what are some of the things that one can expect before moving to Africa, or even before going there for a vacation. Number one, that you are going to see when you, let's say, book your flight, you are coming to Africa, at the African airport, is corruption. Corruption in a way that you, as a black person, or let me not start with that, but just corruption in general, for instance. You will see the officials at the various airports in Africa, even though everything is okay, but they still want you to pay some amount of money. Yes, and then if you are not ready to bribe them, they are going to do anything in their power just to waste your time, which means they will go through all your banks, all the small things. They want to know the sources of these things, even though that is illegal. But simply because they are corrupt, they want to do that. So number two is, most of the people, or some of the people who are working in those particular airports, not because they are brainwashed, but because they are corrupt. So I don't use the word brainwash, but they are corrupt. So you, as a black person, for example, if you are coming to Africa, even though they should give you a free pass, because Africa belongs to all of us, including the African Americans, those who are living in the US, or other black people as a whole, especially everything that we have went through simply because we are black, they should definitely give a free pass to our people. But no, they are not going to do that. What they are going to do is that they are going to let the white people, they will come through, without not even checking their bags more, simply because they are white. They think that, they are always innocent, and they can just go through our airports. So you, as a black person, they are going to make your life hell. These are some of the first things that you are going to experience when you are traveling within the African airports, or when you are coming to Africa. I know it can be so much stressful, but you shouldn't give up on Africa. People are working hard, to change these things. So let's go back to the corruption in general. Now, before traveling to Africa, corruption in general, you will see politicians, they have nothing. But after people elect them into offices, whether, president, ministers, governors, parliamentarians, they have nothing, but 2 months after becoming elected officials, they will have millions of US dollars in their bank account. They will buy cars that cost millions, or hundreds of thousands, and then not only that, they will also buy houses, which also cost millions. So all these monies are from taxpayers' money. So corruption is one of the things, I mean, that is killing so many Africans today. And you will also see the same politicians that they are going to celebrate their, let's say, birthdays or whatever they just want to celebrate in Dubai, the United States, and other parts of the world, while the people they are representing, they do not even have an infrastructure at home. They do not have the buildings. I mean, the schools are lacking of materials, like the children are not getting food at school. But these politicians will be living in a lavish lifestyle. And that is, or this is one of the problems that you will see in Africa before moving to Africa or after moving to Africa. These are all things that you will have to expect to see Africa. So in general, I will say corruption is one of the biggest issues. So do not think that in Africa everything goes by the book. No, it's not about what you know. It's not about like what you know, it's about whom you know. This is how most of the things works in Africa. It's not about what you know, but whom you know. So second, it's going to be that no jobs. Yes. So if you are a black person who wants to move to Africa, do not see that I am going to Africa, then get a job with a company, and then I will be able to live just like the way you are able to do in the United States or the way you are able to do in Europe or other parts of the world. That is not how it works in Africa. I mean, in Africa, almost in every country, there is something like a 50% unemployment rate, which means 50% of the youths maybe are not working, or could not find a job. So with the intention of moving to Africa, just to go there and get a job and live, that will not work. So the next thing is going to be lack of choices. Yes. So the lack of choices might also be or might also sound hard for some people. What I mean about that, for example, if you want to, let's say, take a flight in the United States, you might have like different airlines, maybe 5, 6, 7 different airlines, or maybe 2, 3 different airlines, depending, which means that you have a choice to choose which airline is the best for you and which one you also want to fly with, maybe because of they are more secure, maybe because they are more cheaper than the others, or maybe because they are even more friendly. So in Africa, we do not have that. You might only have the choice, maybe only one airline. So this one is also something that you should put at the back of your mind if you are trying to move to Africa. So the other thing that like you should also know, for example, is that when it comes to shopping, let's say in the United States, you can just have like Amazon, delivered your packages. Once you order it, let's say today, it might arrive today or tomorrow. But in most of the African countries, it is not like that. In most of the African countries, like the cities do not even have like street names and the house numbers, So this make it so hard that to be able to buy something online and to deliver it at your door as well. So which means that if you, let's say, buy something online, you cannot expect it to come today or in the next 3 days in Africa. No, that's not how it works there. So with that being said, which means that if you just want to buy something online, then you will have to buy it in advance so that you can get it on the right time. And yeah, there are some, let's say, post addresses, like in every big city there, where you can just buy something and then it is going to be delivered at this particular place, then you can just go and pick it there. There are also some places, in Africa which also have, let's say, the street names and the post addresses as well, but so many places did not have that in Africa. So that can also be challenging for so many people. Because if you live in a country like whereby everything is just really nice, super fast, and then once you just move to this other country, you do not have all these choices. So this can definitely be disappointing for so many people. And the next thing is going to be infrastructure. For example, let's say you are in the United States or Europe or maybe another part of the world where they have good roads, good schools, you have different choices. Let's say when it comes to food, go outside and eat. Yes, in Africa also, we have different kind of foods, restaurants, But the problem is that like you might not have the choice where or the city where you are living. Maybe the infrastructure is not there, which means the roads are not good at all, or maybe they might not even have roads at all. Like, if you guys can remember, I told you back that the corruption that we are having in Africa, for example, there are cities in Nigeria where you have these governors, who are controlling these cities, which means that it is their duty, to make sure that these cities have infrastructure and everything. But these men or these particular governors, you can just check online. They are living in a luxurious life. They are going to Dubai, flying private jets, going like spending the taxpayers' money, and then no one cares at the end of the day. They will not even be brought to questioning, or maybe police officers to go and arrest them, because each and every one of them who is in the system, from the police officers, the military heads, the president, the governors, they are all corrupt. And you will see these governors, living in this luxurious lifestyle, while the people they are representing or they're supposed to work for, they do not even have roads. So the infrastructure is not there in Africa, and that can also be challenging. Or even though, let's say, like you have good roads, maybe the place you live, they also have, let's say, everything. At the end of the day, like certain things will not work well. That is just the truth. So all these things can be challenging sometimes if you want to move to Africa. Jobs, no jobs. Yes. So if you want to move to Africa, do not move to Africa to get a job and live like the way you do it in other parts of the Western world. But you should come and create a job in Africa. You should come and create your own company in Africa. You should come, and teach others what to do and what not to. You should come, and show the young people how to be a good farmer if you do have the experience of all of these things. This is what Africa needs. When I mean jobs, is that because in every African country almost you go, unemployment rate is like 50%. Yeah, 50%. So which means there are so many young people who graduated from the universities with their degrees, but they could not find a job. And that is one of the realities that is going on in Africa. So do not come with the intention that I am going to Africa to get a job and then I'll be able to live just like anyone else. Instead, go to Africa to provide jobs for the young people. Since you know the know-how, or maybe like you have the experience in business, in farming, or maybe you are an architect, then all these things are something that the continent of Africa needs. Everything I have just mentioned in this video, I also want to tell you that you will also meet with some great people starting from the day you arrive at the airport. There are also great people there who works at the airport. So do not be scared of to move to Africa, or if you are thinking about coming to Africa. I only believe like the only thing that you should just pay attention to, for example, there is a lot of unemployment across the African continent. So which means like if you are someone who is experienced, let's say, in business, then definitely go back there to Africa, to create a business. You will go through challenges. As I just mentioned in this video, the corruption is rampant in Africa. But hey, all of these things will not scare you to go to Africa. There are also Africans who have started businesses, they fail because of, the corruption in some departments that we do have. But there are also a lot of people there, who have like a great success and great stories as well. So which means like this will not scare you to move to Africa. This will not scare you to go and visit Africa. And yeah, this channel is a traveling channel, of course. And my goal is by 2025 to be able to travel to different countries, including the United States, Jamaica, and other like Caribbean nations as well, or even in South America, to go and meet with some black people, share the culture with them, so trying to know like different peoples from different parts of the world. That is my main goal, which means uniting the black people together. And then I will be also sharing my travel vlogs also with you on these channels as well, to different countries that I have visited, and then just to show you guys like the different stories and different parts of the world as well. So make sure if you love this video, please comment below. I want to know what you think about this video, and then you also subscribe to the YouTube video. You also subscribe to the YouTube, and you also share the video as well. So comment below, let me know what you guys think about this video. Then I will see you in another video. Thank you guys for watching, then see you all.